As uncertainty swirled around the West Indies top order following Shea's decision to hide, Amir Jangoo stepped into the breach, producing an innings that transformed whispers of promise into a resounding declaration of intent. He seized the spotlight and produced an innings that sent his name reverberating throughout the cricketing world. Roston Chase was controversially appointed by Blunder Factory to captain the West Indies Test team. His captaincy and his mere place in the team remained under a cloud of doubt. His reign marked by historic defeats as he struggled to get the ball off the square, and he was also unable to buy a wicket. The pressure mounted on Roston Chase. The criticism grew louder with every passing innings. His leadership questioned almost as sharply as his form. But in Antigua, under the North Sound sound, he answered not with words, but with his bat. A commanding 194, part of it defiance, part release. He did not just silence his critics for a day. It reshaped the narratives around a captain who refused to disappear into his own struggles. In the end, however, with a double century there for the taking, he simply gave it away. Like me, Blunder Factory was not happy with the mode of his dismissal, one that it appears that Chase himself manufactured. For Blunder Factory knew that the manner of Roston Chase dismissal with a double bills looming was symptomatic of the low cricketing IQ of the players that he has to work with. Hello everyone, this is the Cricket Forum. It's the #1 cricket channel in the Caribbean. I thank everyone for being here. I appreciate your company and I look forward to your interaction as we go through the 4th day of the first test match between the West Indies and Sri Lanka, live from the Sir Vivian Richard Cricket Stadium in North Sound, Antigua. I look forward to your interaction and I encourage you to become a member of our club on Patreon and join the live discussion. I greet you with the news that Sri Lanka have lost their 2nd wicket as Madushka have been out leg before by that man Kemar Roach. Sri Lanka 15 for 2, losing Nishan Madadushka and his overnight score 15 for 2. So the 4th delivery of the morning's play getting the 2nd wicket for West Indies. 15 for 2, Sri Lanka, and West Indies really now marching into victory, and they just need to really just ram home the advantage in this match. Really just need to ram home the advantage in this match. As you see there, we have a live poll that is going on. I hope you are hearing me loud and clear. And that live poll asks, because I think what is going to happen, now that Shai Hope sees how the pitch is playing, because there was some doubt in Shai Hope's mind about the pitch after what he saw in the final of the regional 4-day and also in the group stage match between the Leeward Islands and Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. After Shai about you have to turn it on. So sorry about that interruption. There was a little challenge with the connectivity, and so I appreciate you still being here. You know, for the entire morning, everything okay, and as soon as you start, you got knocked out. It's like something waiting and for you to start to interrupt your flow. And after, so just as the game start, you just have this interruption. I apologize, and I trust that you are hearing me loud and clear. I really hope and do so. Please let me know if you are hearing me loud and clear. I'd really I can tell you that Jayden Seals have picked up another wicket, and West Indies are really large and in charge here now. So they are 19 for 3, with Jayden Seals getting another wicket as he squared up the batsman and is gone at third slip. So Kavem Hodge holding onto that catch. So 19 for 3, 19 for 3. Yes. Just trying to get my bearings here, after that. You started the morning and you have everything in control, and then the internet just goes. So just bear with me while allow me to get back my bearings. They are 19 for 3 though, Sri Lanka in their second innings. So West Indies now turning on the trill. So The night watchman, Rajita gone, caught by Hodge off the bowling of Seals for 4. He faced 13 deliveries. So Sri Lanka 19 for 3. So Jayden Seals 2.1 overs, 2 for 5. Kemar wrote 3 overs, 1 for 10. West Indies rampant on this early Sunday morning in Antigua. And that was a lovely delivery as he squared up the right-hander and picking up West Indies, picking up the 3rd wicket of the West Indies innings. So Kamindu, a man of great resilience, a man who averaged over 16 Test cricket, and that one just dropped short of Amir Jangoo at forward short leg. So yes, he has more than he's averaging more than 60 in Test cricket, so he should not be taken lightly any at all. He's a good looking batsman. So that one dropped short of Amir Jangoo, who tosses the ball to try to trick the crowd here. So yes, and glad to know that you're hearing me loud and clearly. I appreciate it much. Outside the off stump, he leaves alone and goes through to the wicket keeper, and there is no run. So I want to welcome everyone. Welcome everyone, and thank you for being here. I encourage you to become a member of our club on Patreon and join the live discussion, because over there you can be you are part of the live discussion when you're one of our members. But we still appreciate you being here. So Kamindu, who is on 2, Chandimal is on 4, as Kamindu seconds now, as we're going to watch now as Jayden Seals moves into him, round the wicket. The slips goes down, he leaves it alone, taken, and the pad goes to the field that first slip, but that was bouncing over the stump, no appeal, except for one person in the slip putting up their hand. And so that's the situation right now. Sri Lanka in a lot of trouble, absolutely a lot of trouble. They are finding no answer to the West Indies bowlers at this time. Absolutely no answers to the West Indies bowlers at this time. So we're going to watch as Jayden Seals now is going to move into Kamindu. There are 3 slips on a gully, bowls, and the batsman taken on the pad, loud appeal, probably a little too high. They're going to have a talk about this, but this could be a little too high. I think it struck him in line, but I think it's going over the top. Jayden Seals really in a fine spell here. Have they reviewed it? No, they decide against it. No signal from the West Indies captain. I really think it was high, and I think that was the right decision. Right? Yes, I definitely think that was the right decision not to review it. I think it was going over the stump. We'll watch the replay. But I think it was going over the stump. So we'll see the replay. It was the end of the over. So as you can understand, it would have been now a break. So we are not seeing the live. You know, so I was talking about the poll that was going on just before I lost connection there. Roach bowls full toss, clipped away by Chandimal down to the boundary for 4. Well, not a really full toss. It was a long up, and he clips it away down to the boundary at wide, long on for 4. So there's a poll that is presently going on. What I'm surprised about the poll that is going on, you know, is the discussion around Amir Jangoo. That last night I was involved in a discussion, and the part of the discussion was that Jangoo played because Shai didn't play. Because if Shai had played, Jangoo would not have played. We all know that. That's no secret that he was not in the playing 11, but Shai was there instead. And he made 233. That I think that should guarantee the man a place in the team for at least the next 5 tests. Mark you, if he made 10 ducks following up the 233, he has to be dropped. No ball by Roach. 1 more to the score, 26 for 3. But that is in extreme circumstances. I'm talking all logical, fair, in a fair way. You know what is logical and what is likely to happen. That 200 should have guarantee him at least another 6 test matches. That one came back sharply. Uh, another appeal. Think it's probably going over the top. Think it's probably going over the top. Just not getting yeah, it's too high again. It's going over the top. It came back sharply, and Roach is really getting this ball to come back a long way. But that one has gone over the top. Yes, so the general consensus is that not the general consensus, because I don't believe in it. I think that the man earned his place in the team, but I was surprised to hear a person saying that, well, Jangoo came in for Roach, so for Hope. So if Hope is fit, Jangoo should go. That I was bewildered by that argument. You can't drop a man that make a double 100. I was bewildered, you know, by the argument. So I put his name in the poll there. As you see, there's his name in the poll. There are 4 persons' name in it. That's Silva, Hodge, Greaves, and Jangoo. I'm surprised that persons have actually voted that. I think 5 persons voted that Jangoo should be dropped. Can't believe. And so it just goes to show that the conversation that I was having last night and couldn't believe it, that more persons are of the opinion that the man should be dropped despite the man making out double 100. What can go so? I just don't know. You know, as that one taken on the pad and it bunks to the keeper. We're going to watch Roach now. This is his 4th over, 1 for 15 thus far. Chandimal seconds in his crease as he looks at Roach, comes into him. 3 steps goes down, a backward short leg and a forward short leg. That one curves in the air to the batsman who looked to play it through the onside. It misses, taken on the pad, and there is no run. So there are 3 slips and there's a leg gully, and then there's a forward short leg. You could say leg gully. Yes, I want to say leg gully. So I'm going to say backward square leg. Short backward square leg. It's in that region, you know, that the man is behind square, short behind square leg. So however you want to discuss it, but he's in short. He's probably about 20 yards from the bat or so. 26 for 3. Roach is going to come in now. He's going to bowl to Chandimal, the Sri Lankan batsman. So there he is. It could say a short backward square leg, pitched up and driven to mid-off, and there is no run. Or did mid-off get a run? Oh, the screen just started to buffer. Oh, he didn't get a run. It went into the boundary for 4. The screen started to buffer again. I'm having a lot of trouble this morning just as we start. Why is the screen buffering so much? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. It's like the devil. It's like the devil. But that was a handsome off drive as Roach pitched up and Chandimal leaned into the off drive and stroked it through the covers and got 4. So assuming. But the score is 30 for 3. Sri Lanka being rocked by the West Indies. Nasanka was out yesterday, caught by Joshua da Silva off the bowling of Jayden Seals. And this morning, the first to go was Madushka, leg before, to Kemar Roach for 2. And then Rajita, the night watchman, he was caught in the slips off the bowling of Seals for 4. Since then, Chandimal is on 12 not out. Kaminda is on 2. Sri Lanka batting in their second innings. They are 30 for 3. 30 for 3 after 7 overs. That's the latest score from North Sound in Antigua. 30 for 3. So Jayden Seals to continue. 3.2 overs, 2 for 7 as he walks back to the top of his mark. Good morning to you, Athena. Good morning to you, Garth Ains. Really appreciate you guys being here. Respect always. Thank you for tuning in. It's always a pleasure. Just checking up on the poll here to see. So, yeah, 46% of you think Hodge should go, then 36 thinks that Silva will go. Can't believe that 7% think Amir Jangoo is the one who should be dropped. You know, I can't believe 7% think that, 10% of you believe that Amir Jangoo is the one who's to be dropped. I can't believe that. I absolutely can't believe that so many persons believe that Amir Jangoo should be dropped. Not in my, I can't see, oh, you drop Amir Jangoo. The man make a double 100 and persons think the man should be dropped. Seals round the wicket, bowls to come in, those strokes it to the fielder at cover, and there is no run. So the score remains at 30. And I thought the conversation was ridiculous last night, and that's why I put it in the poll. But to see that persons in the poll actually think that Amir Jangoo should be dropped to replace for Shai Hope to return to the team, because trust me, Shai Hope is going to fit for the second match. Well, maybe as that Seals round the wicket, bowls to come in, they will place it to Milan, and there is no run. The score remains at 30 for 3. Yes. Well, this may, now that his secret has came out, you may not see him for the second match. Now that we reveal his secret that he was actually hiding because he didn't know the pitch was going to play. And we know that he's afraid of pace. So he will be fit for the second match. 3 sips goes on, Seals round the wicket, bowls to come in, though, clipped it away, wide off long mid-on for 4. Pitched up and he clipped it away, wide off mid-on for 4. End of over number 8. Sri Lanka batting there, 34 for 3 with Kamendu on 6, Chandimal on 12. Remind everyone that West Indies women have qualified for the semi-finals of the Women T20 Cricket World Cup. The second consecutive semi-finals they are qualifying for. They won it in 2016. They reached the semi-finals in 2018. They reached the semi-finals again in 2024. And they again reached the semi-finals again in 2026. In between that, they reached the semi-finals of the ODI World Cup in 2022. So the women team have been performing far better than the male team on the world stage when it comes to tournaments, world tournaments. So congratulations to the girls. They will play, I think they will play Australia in the semi-finals. I don't know if that semi-final is Tuesday or Thursday. As soon as I know, I'll let you know. I will check sometime probably during the drinks break and let you know. Roach to continue. 3 sips goes down. He bowls to Chanderpaul, who strokes it down the ground. Chase here for Roston Chase. They will come back for 2 surely. He sends the return in now. So 2 more to the total. Chandimal goes up to 14. Sri Lanka goes up to 36 for 3. So that is it about the poll. The next thing is that the celebration of Jayden Seals yesterday when he got that wicket. And the celebration, part of that celebration, I think, is happiness for the wicket keepers. Roach is over the wicket, bowls to Chandimal, who covers up and played it into the covers. Covers up, plays it into the cover and there's no run. Yeah, I honestly think that part of the celebration was that he was so happy for Joshua da Silva to actually took that catch, because pressure was mounting on da Silva. No ball again by Roach. So 37 now for 3. And I honestly think that was part of the celebration. The way that he's the over-the-top celebration of that wicket, I really think that in part, it was for Joshua da Silva getting the wicket. As Roach is back off a length and the batsman cuts it, he didn't time it quite sweetly, and it pulled up probably about 15 meters from the boundary, and they came back for 2, 39 for 3 after 8.2 overs. 39 for 3 after 8.2 overs. So the next Dhananjaya, the captain, then Kusal Mendes, then Denusha. Those are the next in the Sri Lanka order. And Antigua really needs some rain. It looked dried and parched. Roach, 3 sips goes down. He comes in, bowls. The batsman covers up and plays it into the covers, straight to the man at cover. And there is no run. 39 for 3, the score remains. There are 3 delivers remaining in this over. 3 delivers. Yeah, he was not slated to play. He had hope being fit. Amir Jangoo was not slated to play, but I'm sure that his name is now reverberating around the cricketing world. So there are 3 slips and a cover and a mid-off. As Roach comes in, the man is at forward short leg, down the leg side. Good take, brilliant take by Joshua Da Silva. That was good. That was good. His foot moved there. Somebody told him that he needs to move his feet, and he moved well there. Look at this feet movement. Look, he didn't just stretch. He moves his feet, and then he dived, and it was a brilliant take. Look from it from this angle. You see there? Brilliant. Somebody told him that, and he did that well. Well done, Joshua Da Silva. Well done. And look at Seals in the background saying, well done, boy. Well done. Over the wicket, Roach comes in, bowls, and the batsman covers up as the ball came back into him off the seam, and it goes to mid-on, and there is no run. So there's 39 for 3 with 1 to go in this over. So that was a good bit of wicket keeping there from Joshua Da Silva, and that was a marked improvement for what he was doing in the first innings. So it's good to see that he was concentrating, and sometimes you have to wonder, so he's there at, what do you call it, a leg gully or a backward short leg? Let's go with backward short leg as he comes in now. Bowls to Chandimal, and Chandimal turn this away to the right of mid-on, and they'll get a single. So 1 more to the score. That's the end of the over from Seals. 40 for 3. Kamindo batting is on 6. With him is Chandimal, who is on 17. So 40 for 3, Sri Lanka. 40 for 3 at this stage of the innings. So please keep the comments coming. Club members, Athena said, Jayden and Josh are very good friends. Yeah, I can imagine that, because that comment that he made about Imlak, he was really defending his friend. And I assume that most persons heard that comment already, but I'll just repeat it for those who didn't hear. Jayden Seals said to Tevin Imlak, if he was to become captain of the West Indies team, it means West Indies cricket would have gone to the dogs. Do you agree? If Imlak becomes captain of the West Indies team, do you believe that West Indies cricket would have gone to the dogs? Maybe I should use that as a poll after the drinks break. Should be, yeah. Nice poll. I would love your feedback on that. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in as a poll during the drinks break. I'll just type it up. Seals over the wicket, bowls beaten outside the off stump as Chandimal push forward and the balls leave him and go through to the wicket keeper. And there is no run. Who took it low down? Yeah, he took it low down. He came forward, he pushed, it seemed, and probably did it carry to that Silva or did it bounce in front of him? Either way, it was a good take, because you know if it bounced in front of you. So this one will give us a better picture. It bounced in front of him. It didn't carry to him. So it bounced right in front of him. 43. 40 for 3, should say. Over the wicket, Seals bowls to Chandimal, and he squared him up. But he got it into the offside where the fielder coming in from cover fields. So for Seals, there are 3 slips, and there's a gully. There's a mid-off, and there's a mid-on. So that's 6 of the fielders. I think the man, I'm trying to find out if the fielder is at backward point or is at cover. So as soon as I know where that fielder is, I'm not quite sure if there's a forward short leg or a backward short leg for Seals. I don't see the onside as yet. But what I can tell you, though, that there are 3 slips, and there's a gully, there's a mid-off, and there's a mid-on. The goes down now as he goes into bowls to Chandimal, who plays that into the onside, and there is no run. So I cannot tell you that there's also a cover. So there are 3 slips, a gully, and a cover, a mid-off. There's a mid-on, there's a backward short leg, and then there's a man on the long leg boundary. The point is deep on the boundary. I think due to the number of runs that went to third man in the first innings, 40% of Sri Lanka runs came down to third man in the first innings. So I think they have the man out on the backward point boundary, trying to have him to cover both areas. So they have him at a fine backward point. Chandimal second sees over the wicket, clipped off his leg, down to that man on the 45, that's Shamar Joseph, who sends his return in. So he's more for around like a backward square leg on the boundary instead of a long leg or a fine leg that Shamar has. That one was clipped away as Seals pitched up on Chandimal legs, and he just whipped it away. It travels very quickly to the fielder down on the backward square leg boundary, but he picks up cleanly, got a kind bounce. And so one more to the Sri Lankan total. They are 41 for 3. Kamindu is on 6. He's going to face up to Jayden Seals, who is bowling from the Sir Andy Roberts end here at the Sir Vivian Richards Cricket Ground in North Sound, Antigua. And the area surrounding the ground look very, very parched as Seals round the wicket. The slips goes down on the gully outside the half stump. Kamindu push the right pad and allows it to go through to the keeper. He's a left-hander batting, so he just push the right pad and allows it to go through to the wicket keeper. So Seals 2 for 12 from 4.5 overs. You know, Garth Ains, you are saying that Jayden Seals is to get dropped, and I told you I don't agree with it. You don't leave out Seals. I wouldn't if all right. My first thought is that I don't know if Roach can last 2 matches. Seals is round the wicket, bowls to Commander down the leg side. He works that off his tie pad. We'll wait and see if it came off the tie pad or if he got bat onto it. Off the tie pad, leg by signal. No signal. Yeah, leg by signal. So leg by signal, 42 for 3. Seals 2 for 12 from his 5 overs. Kamindu is on 6. Chandimal is on 18. End of over number 10, 42 for 3. Yeah, I would not be Seals for me. Seals is a real deal. Seals is absolutely the real deal. Is the real deal for me. He's more stable, he's more control than the Josephs. All right, first thing, I would have 2 options for the second test. Taking into consideration that the pitch, they may be using the same pitch, I don't know. Boy, the second test pitch I got tricky, you know. The second test pitch I got tricky. Roach is round the wicket. As the 3 slips on the gully, it goes down and the batsman covers up and played it into the offside, and there is no run. So there's 7 on the offside for Roach. There's the 3 slips, there's the gully, there's a backward point, there's a cover, and there's the mid-off. So there's 7 on the offside. I assume that the other fielder is at deep backward square leg on the boundary, and the other one is at mid-on. I haven't seen the offside, but I can tell the onside. But I can tell you there are 7 on the offside. The 3 slips goes down now, and the gully 2 is round the wicket, bowls to the left-handed Kamindu, who again he just pushes the right pad, allows it to go through to the keeper, and there is no run. So the right-arm fast bowler from the West Indies, or seamer, the right-arm seamer for the West Indies, Kemar Roach, he's operating round the wicket to the left-handed Kamindu from the Sri Lanka batsman, and he has 3 slips, he has a gully, he has a backward point, he has a cover and the mid-off on the offside. On the onside, you have a deep backward square leg on the boundary and the mid-on. He moves in now. He's reached there and he bowls to come in with dead and middle stump, and the batsman covers up and played it back down the pitch, and there's no run. So there's no mid-on. He doesn't have a mid-on because what you look for the mid-on as he's running in, you'd look to see if he was going to pass the mid-on as he runs in, but he didn't pass anyone on the onside. There's Jayden Seals on the offside. you will see that he will run past Jayden Seals as he goes in, but he doesn't run past anyone on the onside. So there's no mid-on. He comes in now, round the wicket, goes to the left-handed Kamindu, covers up and steered it to that field, that backward point, and there is no run. So there are 3 slips, and there is a gully, and there's a backward point. So to give you an understanding of where the backward point is that line, that the batting crease or the popping crease, or someone would say it, to the left-hander is to the right of the crease, and that's why you call it backward point, because he's to the right of it. He's to the keeper side. He's to the keeper side. That's backward point. You are towards the keeper side. Seals, Roach, in fact, bowls to come in do, and once again, similarly, he just push the right pad and allows it to go through to just for the Silva, who took it low down. Yeah, so if you should extend that batting crease, say you have an imaginary line going right across from the batting crease, then the backward point would have been on to the right of that line when the left-hander is batting. So in other words, either side of the wicket, the backward point there mean that is on the side of the line towards the wicket keeper. Roach bowls to come in, do turn this away down towards the man coming off the fine leg, long leg boundary, and there's one more to the score. End of Roach over. At the end of the over, it's 43 for 3. Okay, Mr. Producer, I got you. Yeah, okay. You know, the producers are playing a game, are trying to play a game, but if you don't show me, I have to assume. If you show me, I can say it. So what are you trying to do? It just shows how petty you are. That's all it does, Mr. Producer. It just shows how petty you are. That's all it does. It shows that you are very, very petty. You know. So 43 for 3 at the end of 11 overs. 43 for 3 at the end of 11. So really, okay, 43 for 3. As Seals to continue, he's going to come in now to bowl to Kamindu. That's a Kamindu hugging the strike here. Seals round the wicket, bowls to Kamindu, turn it away down towards that man coming off the deep backward square leg boundary. So the score goes up now to 44 for 3, and Chandimal will come into strike. So the right-hander is finally getting a chance to come into strike. So we'll see what Seals will do to him, because Caesar's been bowling very well to the right hand, and he's getting them to square up. So it would be interesting to see what field Seals will have to the right hander. Showing you there. He's on his way now. He bowls to Chandimal, and you can see that ball leaving him, as it leaves him. So I'll give you the feel that Seals have. Seals have 3 slips. He has a gully. He has the point and the boundary. He has a cover, and he has a mid-off. Then he has a mid-on. No, he has a backward short leg, and he has a man on the long leg boundary. So that's Seals field. So we're going to watch now as really slowing down the game here, the West Indies. That's why they're going to be finding, and you wonder why play and give up your match fee. Seals in, beaten outside the half stump as they outswing a touchdown and then seam away left the batsman. So that's a good delivery there by Seals, as that's one touchdown, and then seam away left the batsman as he poked forward. It goes through to the wicket keeper between bat and pad as he played outside the line. So the score remains at 44 for 3. We are just about 9:41 in Kingston, Jamaica. 9:42 now. Make it 9:42. As Seals moving now. comes in bowls to the right-handed Chandimal, who covers up and played it back down the onside of the pitch. The bowler skipped across field and tossed it to the field at cover, and the score remains at 44 for 3. So yes, there's a mid-on and then 44 for 3. You smile pretty little. So we're going to watch now as Seals, he's going to make his way now. 44 for 3. Comes in now to bowl to Chandimal. The slips goes down, bowls Chandimal. Forcibly push back that down the pitch on the offside, straight to the bowler who picks up cleanly with his left hand, and there's no run. So there it is, 3 slips and a gully. There's a backward point, 3 slips and a gully, a backward point, a mid-off, a mid-on. They show you where the wind going, and that there's a man on the long leg boundary. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So maybe there's a fielder deep. That person that we see standing up outside the rope, is he a part of the field? Here is Seals, comes in now, bowls to Chandimal, and Chandimal covers up, and that one took him on the gloves as he flashed the left hand off the bat, end off over number 12. 44 for 3, Sri Lanka in their second innings. They have this since morning. They have lost 2 wickets with the night watchman Rajita. He was the second to go this morning, the third overall of the innings. He was out caught by Hodge at third slip off the bowling of Seals as one touchdown and leave him. And also Madushka, he was out leg before Roach for 2. And so Sri Lanka having lost 3 wickets this morning, having lost 2 wickets this morning, and in addition to the one that they lost yesterday, are 44 for 3. Remind you that West Indies made 626 for 9 declare, with Amir Jangoo getting 233, and the captain Roston Chase, easing the pressure on himself for now, made 194. Change of bowling as Shamar Joseph is now coming in. He's round the wicket. He bowls to Chanderpaul, who plays this out to the man at gully, who has to move to his left of field, and there is no run. So Shamar Joseph has replaced Kemar Roach in the West Indies bowling attack. See that ball wrapped him on the right gloves, and he has to take it off very quickly as it bounced more than he suspected. And I guess Shai Hope would be cringing when he sees things like those. Shamar Roach, he turns at the top of his mark. He begins to move in now. He's there. He bowls to come in. Do again, just push the right pad, allows it to go through. Joshua da Silva did not take that cleanly. You know, it dropped from the gloves. And, you know, those little things, when your confidence is not quite up there, those little things can push off your confidence, you know. We assume that Alzarri Joseph will replace Seals from the Sir Andy Roberts end. Well, Shamar is bowling from the Sir Curtly Ambrose end. So we're going to watch now as he comes in round the wicket. The 3 slips and the gully goes down. He bowls to come in, that take him on his tie pad as he looks to turn that into the onside. Kemar Roach and his follow through prevent them from going through for any leg by as they contemplated the leg by, but Shamar Joseph was quick to the ball and it prevent them from going through. So that was 140. So he's working up some pace here, 140 kilometers per hour. That so he's working up some pace. So there's Warrican, continue to eat the food. Tagenarine Chanderpaul is down on the boundary. I want to say something about Tagenarine Chanderpaul in relation to the poll that I did this morning. Because I heard the comments and I want to say something. Just as I saw him there now, I remember I should say, Joseph round the wicket, the batsman covers up and plays it to Chase, who has to move to his left at gully, and he knocks it down and there's no run. The score remains at 44 for 3. Now, persons are asking, so why is there no Brandon King and Campbell in the poll? The answer is simple. If I'm going to drop King or Campbell I'll replace them with Chanderpaul. That's a straightforward thing. Shai Hope is not going to open. So it's really a middle order batsman that is going to get dropped, you know. Bakafalen Shamar pulls down to backward square leg. Seals comes around the boundary as the ball trickled to him, and they get a single. One more to the Sri Lankan total, putting up now to 45 for 3. So Chandimal comes into strike. He's an 18. So Bakafalen to the left-handed Kamindo. There was Seals just now. The batsman looked to pull. He did not time it sweetly, neither did he get a lot of bat onto it. And so it just trickled on its way down to the fielder at deep backward square leg, who was Jayden Seals, and they got a single. 45 for 3. As Shamar Joseph is on his way now to Chandimal. He's in bowls to Chandimal, who off the back foot forced that into the covers, and there is no run. So the end of Shamar Joseph first over, 1 run conceded, an attempting bouncer, an attacking delivery because he was looking to get the batsman to pull and see if he would skide it down towards the field and the backward square leg boundary. It did not happen. That did not happen. It trickled away down to the fielder, so no damage was done. 45 for 3. So the point about Tagenarine Chanderpaul, if he's coming in, he's going to replace either King or Campbell. Frankly, for me, if they choose to make that change, I have no problem with it. If I have no issue with it, if they don't choose to make it, I do not have an issue with it either. You know, because after this century in India, Canberra has not really done anything, and he just cannot. And it's the first cricketer I've seen who has not improved his fielding. Seals continuing around the wicket again. Kamindu pushed the left pad, the right pad, took the bat out of the way. It goes through to the keeper, and there is no run. You know. And while Brandon King is there and thereabout, he is yet to produce that big score that would sort of cement his place in the team. Yes, he has an half century here and there, but you want that big score to cement your place in the team. So if Blunder Factory decide to drop either one of them, I wouldn't have a problem. If he continues to play with them, I could still understand that he's saying, let me give the man an extended run and see. But you know, in business, they always say better the business fail quickly more than it takes a long time to fail. Because when it takes a long time to fail, you are in a stagnant position for far too long. Outside the half stump again, goes through to the keeper. Score remains at 45 for 3. No. Yeah. Thank you. 45 for 3. Seals round the wicket to come in, though. Outside the half stump, similar. Push the right pad, takes the bat away, allows it to go through to the keeper. 45 for 3. So 3 similar deliveries in this over so far by Jayden Seals. 2 for 13 from his 6.3. Kamindu is a 9. He's on strike. Chandimal has double his score. He's an 18 from 26 deliveries. Yes. So he's bowling from the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, from the Sir Andy Roberts end. Round the wicket. This time you probably want to give the batsman the benefit of the doubt because it wasn't a straightforward leave, but this time for a while there, he was in two minds as he was caught on the crease. But then you'd like to think that he pulled the bat away at the last moment. You'd want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but it wasn't the similar leave where he just pushed the right pad and allows the ball to go through. This time he was caught on the crease and he was in two minds whether to play or whether not to play. In the end, he pulled the bat away at the last moment. It went through to the wicket keeper. He's round the wicket again, this time similarly. He just pushed the right pad again. The ball goes through to the wicket keeper and there is no run. This is a good probing over by Jayden Seals. This is good test cricket. Does he want to come a little tighter to come in do? Probably. Probably wants to come a little tighter, but probably he's working his way into tighter. He's probably working his way and hope that when he bowls that one a little tighter, as there's an airline lifting off from the what's his name? Bird International Airport. What's the first name? What was his first name? Seeds round the wicket outside the off stump. Similarly, end of the over. What's the name of that airport in Antigua? I'm sure Athena knows. Something another Bird Airport, International Airport. Uh, Sri Lanka, Sri Lankans most voted on the poll, said Athena. Okay, Athena, I got you, Athena. So those vote who wanted Jangoo to be dropped, they must be Sri Lankan. They cannot be West Indian. Good one, good one. That's a very, very good one. That's a very good one, Athena. I'm gonna end that poll at the end of the. Yes, thank you, Athena. Yes, the Veerbird, I think a Dr. Veerbird International Airport in St. John's, Antigua, as we saw that plane took off. Thank you very much, Athena. But that's a good one, though. You think that, yeah, it's a tough decision for Sammy to make. Definitely, God Ains is definitely a tough decision for Sammy to make. But that's I love that one, Athena. I really love that one. They said they must have voted on it. Shamar to continue. It's going to ball to Chandimal. It appears that somebody's off the field. Who is it? No. Shamar comes in, bowls, beaten outside the off stump. It did a curve away, but it beat him outside the off stump, 138.6. No, nobody's off the field. I think what happened, you remember that when they show you the entire field, and there was a fielder outside the boundary rope. There was an individual outside the boundary rope, and I was wondering whether that person is on the field or not. Is one of the fielders, and so I guess the umpires have asked him, since you are standing there, you need to put on or you need to put on your green jersey, so that the green thing, so that we know the green bib. Shamar is over the wicket, bowls to Chanderpaul, who defends, and there is no run. So you need to put on the green bib so that we can clearly distinguish you from the fielders. So if he had on his green bib, I would not have been in that position. I would have clearly know that's the situation. So look at that, man. Wow. He's second on the strike rate, 34.64, getting wicket at 22.33. Christopher Bristol, I don't know, you don't rate Shamar Joseph, Christopher Bristol, but look at those numbers. For bowlers, their first 50 wickets, look at those. Shamar comes in, bowls, clipped away off the middle and leg stump, down to Alzarri Joseph and the backward square leg boundary, who you see doing some stretching exercise and just getting the flexing exercise done. So I guess he will be coming into the attack. Antigua look very, very parched, It looks like they haven't have rain for a long, long time, because it looks parched. Or probably no, he's ahead of person like Rabada, Shane Bond, you know, to, to to be ahead of those persons, those are standout persons. Shane Band, he's ahead of all of those persons. As that one goes right through to the Silva, what happened there? As that ball whizzed through, it seems like it just missed the stump for a moment there. Look at it. A strike. When it looks at the numbers for persons who have gotten 50 wickets, it took him 12 matches. Only one person. It took fewer matches, and that was Ferris, who played for both Australia and England, and that was probably way back before you and I were born. Because if he played for Australia and England, and that name doesn't ring a bell straight to me, he must have been for a very long, long time. I'd love to see the replay of what just happened just now. Shamar Joseph round the wicket, the three slips and the gully goes down. He bowls to Kamindu, nice, closely, tight to the arse stump. The batsman defend, and there is no run. The score remains at 46 for 3 after 14.5 overs. Good bowling here by Shamar Joseph, but that's an average of 12 matches. The only person to take 50 wickets quicker is Ferris. The man have a strike rate of 34, average of 22. That's world class, you know. That's greatness, you know, there, you know. That's greatness. That's greatness before our eyes, whether you believe it or not. That is greatness before our eyes. And we need to appreciate the slips goes down as he bowls to him and he bowl him up. He leaves alone and he knocked back the half stump. Bowl down. Kamindu leaving alone. This one was too close to the stump. It knocked back the half stump and is out of the ground. Shamar Joseph picking up his first wicket. Final delivery of his second over, 46 for 4. This match could well end before lunch, you know. Yes, it could well end before lunch. Tight onto the stump. He leaves it alone, knocked back the half stump. It was too close to leave. He was thinking that it was going over the top. It didn't go over the top. It was too close to leave. Bad leave. Kaminda goes. 9 from 34 delivers. Bowl Shamar Joseph. That's the big wicket. You know, this man is a man who averaged 60 in Test cricket. I guess after these 2 innings, that 60 would have gone down to probably now 60. But that was a lovely delivery by Shamar Joseph. Will they take the drinks break now? Probably they will take the drinks break. That was a lovely delivery. So maybe I should end this poll and do another poll, because I'm of the opinion that they're gonna take the drinks break. It's 2 minutes to 11, a wicket fall. Why bowl another over and take the drinks break then? I just don't take it now. So I'm confident that they're going to take the drinks break. So give me some time now to just remove this poll. A matter of fact, the number of persons believe that Amir Jangoo should be dropped for Shai Hope have risen. And over 130 persons responded to the poll, and 14% of those believe that the man should be dropped. 14%. Can you believe that? 14% of you, after a double 100, you believe the man should be dropped. As Athena said, there must be some Sri Lankan on the poll. So the next poll is, do you agree with, do you agree with Seals that West Indies cricket would have gone to the dogs at Imlak made captain? So it's just a simple yes or no. Yeah, just keep it as a simple yes or no. No 3 options. 2 options usually get people with limited number of choices, so they have to make a choice. So this is just a fun poll, though. It's nothing more than fun, just to put up that poll. So good start by the West Indies this morning. I've picked up 3 wickets. So Garth Haynes is saying, I think Hope should rest because he plays all formats. Because he plays for all formats, and then for the next series, they make the decision on who to drop. Well, thank you for your opinion, but Hope has been resting a lot, and thank you. But Hope has been resting a lot, and I think that's one of the reasons why he. So Alzarri Joseph is coming into the attack. So if he's injured, I know I was banter this morning that he was hiding, and I know persons know that it's just banter that he was hiding. Yeah, no, the part that he's afraid of pace is true. We know that. That's not banter, but the comment generally overall this morning about him hiding was sheer banter, and I guess persons know that. But to be fair, Hope has gotten a lot of rest, Garth Ains. What more rest does he need? What does he need? And persons who are in physical fitness are saying that is the long rest that Hope have, that Hope took that caused the injury, because the muscle simple freeze up, the simple crank up, you know? Yeah. So what more rest does he need? It's and the first delivery was back off a length and defended by Chandimal. No run, 46 for 4. It is you are pushing a decision down the road. That's all you're doing, Garth Ains. You're afraid to make big decisions. So you're pushing the decision down the road, and you think the easiest way is just to say let Hope rest. But we saw what happened when he rests. He gets injured when he returns. Down the leg side by Alzarri. Joshua da Silva did not collect. And let's see, did they go through for a bye? That ball touched down, just was too close for him to leave. He thought it was going over the top. He misread the bunks there and the death rattle. And he looks back at his stump. He looks back at the stump. You know, so Shamar again picking up another wicket. So there was a bye there, leg bye. So Joshua da Silva will breathe easily because it was off the batsman body. So that's why it was a leg bye. So he breathed easily, although some would say that he needed to collect those. There's a lot of pressure on Joshua da Silva, you know. A lot of pressure on Joshua da Silva. So some youngsters in the ground. Alzarri bowls that one, bongs, took the batsman in his midriff, not in his mid-era, not on his family jewel, in his midriff, just about his waist, and it bongs to the captain, Roston Chase, in the gully, and there's no run. So there's 3 slips and a gully, a backward point and a mid-off. There's a man at mid-on, and there's a man on the backward square leg boundary. 3 slips a gully, a mid-off, a mid-on, and a man on the backward square leg boundary. Those are the ones I can tell you. He comes in now, bowls, and the batsman covers up that Dhananjaya. It goes out to that fielder in the covers, and there is no run. The score remains at 47 for 4, just after 10 a.m. in Jamaica. Guess it will be just after 11 a.m. in Antigua. Yes, so that is to Garth Ains. You're clearly just pushing the decision down the road. It doesn't reflect someone with strong character when you push the decision down the road. That it's easy just to say, all right, Cheo, let the same team play, you know. No, you need your best player in the team. Some Alzarri Joseph back off a length. The batsman just guided out to the man at backward point, and there is no run. You need your best batsman in the team. And when you talk about rest, as I said, he has been resting after the World Cup. It's a poor executive decision, Garth Ains, to put it that way. Make the tough decision, boss. Make the tough decisions. Poor executive decision. Poor. That was a poor executive decision. That is kicking the ball down the road. 47 for 4. As he comes in now, he's over the wicket. Bowls to Dhananjaya, and Dhananjaya plays this again out into the offside. That man at backward point, field again. End of Alzarri first over. It's a maiden. The score remains at 47 for 4. You know, so in pushing down the decision down the road, you might find yourself in more trouble, because it is very likely that Kavem can make 100. Justin Greaves can make 100 in the next match. Joshua da Silva took 6-7 catches, make 100 too. And I'll be a Jangoo double 100 that he makes in this innings. Even if he doesn't, make a big score in that match, the double 100 would still be very, very relevant. So kicking the can down the road can make the decision even harder. So the decision need to be taken now. So I don't want any decision about he should be rest. Shamar comes in, bowls to Chandimal, who played it out into the onside, and they will drag Walker Singer. So the score goes up by 1 to 48 for 4. 48 for 4 as Dhananjaya comes into strike. Chandimal, by the way, is on 20. Shamar Joseph 1 for 3 from 2.1 overs. The speed just slipped me a while ago. He's bowling from the Sir Curtly Ambrose end. Dhananjaya is taking his guard. So I'm gonna watch now as Shamar is going to continue to move in now to Dhananjaya, the captain of the Sri Lankan team. Dhananjaya de Silva. He made 100 in the first innings. So the Silva faces up now to Shamar Joseph. 3 sips and a gully goes down the leg side. The Silva looking to turn that away down the leg side, and it went through to Da Silva, who collects, and there is no run. The score remains at 48 for 4 after 2 deliveries in this Shamar Joseph third over. 16.2 have been completed. Athena is saying, if Roach got his 300 wickets, will he play the next match? Wow, interesting. For me, Athena, as we watch Shamar moves in, 48 for 4. 3 slips, gully goes down, he bowls, the batsman steer this away. Good take by Roston, chase in the gully. Good stop as it bunks away to his right, and he moves smartly to his right and collect that clean as a whistle. So 48 for 4. Interesting point there, Athena. I love the points that are coming through. They are not Bramber, so from the members of the club. I appreciate those points that coming through from members of the club. That a Bramber point will, because sometimes one get the impression that Roach is just playing for the 300 wickets and he will probably retire after the 300 wickets. We got that impression, but he's really bowling good, He has bowled well in this match. He has been the best of our both. Well, Greaves got 3. But when it comes to hitting the right era, Kemar Roach is being metronomical. That's what's allowed. Appeal is out. Is he bowled him down or leg before? Leg before. Given. So the Silva goes leg before. Brilliant work. Shamar Joseph is on fire. I told you this match may well done before lunchtime. 50 minutes to go. I don't know if it's leg before. I think it's leg before, but I got the impression that he could have been bowled down. Let me see. But that is plumb leg before. You can't leg before. Hit on the back foot in front of the mega stump. Plumb leg before. Come off. So the Silva goes leg before. Now I want you to reflect on this. Those of you watching, or those of you who are unable to watch but are just listening, I really appreciate every one of you that are here. So that is leg before to Shamar Joseph. So the Silva gone leg before for North. I'm asking you to appreciate the stop that Roston Chase made in the gully, the previous delivery. Had that ball passed him, had he not collected it cleanly, had he not moved so quickly to his right and putting that half dive, getting down on his knee and stretching away to his right to collect that ball so cleanly, because even if it bounced out of his hand, they would have gone for the single. And it is very likely that that would not have been the same delivery that bowled to Chandimal. And maybe if it was bowled to Chandimal, he batting so long, he would have probably got bat onto it. So that's bit of feelings by Chase at gully set up that wicket for Shamar. So well done, Captain Roston Chase. That was brilliant. That hit in the middle of middleman. That was well bowled on the back leg. So well done, Roston Chase. The wicket is for Shamar, but well done, Roston Chase. The Veerbird International Airport, that's where the plane was taken off from. Thank you. Atina, thank you very much. Joseph into the new batsman Kusal, who steered it to chase at gully again, and there is no run. 137, that one was 137. So Shamar Joseph 2 for 3 from 2.5 overs. And I can't understand how my very good friend, because I can call his name Christopher Bristol, he doesn't rate Shamar Joseph, but a man who has a strike rate of 22, boss, after playing 12 test matches. This is his 13th or this is 12th. You know, and a strike rate of over the wicket. He comes, bowls Kusal on the front foot, sweetly through the covers down to the boundary for 4. It pitched up and he came on the front foot and he drove it ever so sweetly past the mid-off to his left. No one moved. That's what you call proverbially no one moved. As Shamar went for the glory ball, Kusal was on the front foot and he drove it away sweetly down to the long off boundary for 4. Good shot, Kusal Mendes. 52 for 5. Sri Lanka batting in their second innings after 17 overs. Shamar Joseph 2 for 7 from his 3 overs. 2 for 7 from his 3 overs. So who have you decided to leave out? I would leave out Kavem Arch. I know that he made a century in New Zealand and saw it. So I fully understand that. But it's a case where whosoever you leave out, it would be a tough decision. Whosoever you leave out, they'll always be say, well, boy, if you leave out Greaves make a double in New Zealand too. Shai made 100 in India, and then he comes in and he made 100 in New Zealand. So he deserves his place in the team. So it's a situation where everyone has a claim to be in that playing 11. There's an argument that leave out Joshua Da Silva and make Shai keep. But on the other side of that argument, Alzarri over the wicket bowls to Chandimal, tuck it off his hip down to fine leg. There's a single there, 53 for 5. On the other side of the argument, to leave out Joshua Da Silva and Shai keep, you really have to look at the performance of Shai when he's keeping in Test cricket versus his performance when he's not keeping. So you don't want to give him the gloves. The century that he made in India, he was not keeping wicket. The 100 that he made in New Zealand, he was not keeping wicket. You know, so and since he gave up the gloves in that second match in India, his numbers have improved. So I would not want to give him back the gloves, being that his numbers have improved since the gloves was taken away from him. Alzarri is over the wicket, bowls, the batsman taken on the pad, loud appeal. I think it going down the leg side. Alzarri Joseph is adamant about the review. Greaves is supporting the decision to review it. Chase have gone with it. This could be very close, but I think it's probably heading down the leg side. My call is that it is missing. I would love to see it again, but my original call is that it's missing, but that's the original call. And yes. So on the other side of it, why I wouldn't want to drop the Silva is that heading down the leg side, missing. That was my original intent. Yeah, they will go through the process, but when they go through the process, you would see that that is missing leg stump. So you can go back to your field now, Joseph. That is not going to out. So Greaves, Joseph was adamant, and Greaves said to Chase, yes, it's eating, and Chase said, yeah, sure. And Greaves said yes, and then Chase went with it, but it's missing by a far way. All right, so I don't believe in just giving a man one match and then dropping him. I don't believe that. When you gave him the gloves, so it's clearly missing. Even the line is missing. Yes. That's so. Yeah, so he should not have. He should not have taken that. So as I said, I don't believe in giving the keeper one match unless he's being atrocious, very atrocious. And although he dropped 3 catches, he still held on to the regulation one outside the half stumps he collects. Just give me a minute from the live commentary. So I wouldn't. If you just put them somewhere into that. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm back with you. 53 for 5. So I was making the point that I don't want to give Joshua da Silva only one match, unless probably he drop another 4 or 5 catches in this match, in this innings. I couldn't just give him one match. 2 slips and a gully goes on. Alzarri bowls to Kusal and he covers up end of the over. And then Greaves Greaves has been getting his 1 or 2 wickets. He got 3 in the first innings of this match. My choice would be Kavem Hodge. I would leave out Kavem Hodge. But as I said, there's justification. You can make a case for Kavem Hodge to be in the team and someone else to be left out. There's also the angle of saying that, boy, maybe we should use Da Silva to open or someone else to open and drop one of the openers. Ideally, the 2 batsmen placed in this playing 11 that is really under threat for me are the 2 openers. But none of those other guys have really ever opened in their life. And I have seen the call so many times when somebody's pushed up to open and they say, well, boy, the man is pushed up to open and he failed and it's because he was pushed up to open. I've even seen persons saying that, boy, sometimes we should put Chanderpaul down the order because he must open. Kevlan Anderson should not have played and we shouldn't make him bat that early. So I am not going to be in a position where I'm going to find a place in the opening position for a middle order batsman. I'm not going to do that. It was a different situation in New Zealand when Brandon King was asked to open because of the injuries to Chanderpaul. But Brandon King was not completely new to the opening position. He opens in international cricket, albeit one-day international and T20 cricket, but he has still been opening in international cricket. So I don't want to put Hodge to open, with no Shai not going to open. You don't want your wicket keeper to open. You could say Justin Greaves open in one day international too, so you could have him open in innings. That could be also a case, that could be a point. So all I'm saying there, to make the decision to drop someone is that it's just an executive decision, and there's a case for anyone to be in the playing 11. All right, so Shamar Joseph there has to just pull out at the last moment. I hope he didn't jar his back, but someone move across the side screen at the last moment. Roston Chase was not happy with that. All right, so that's it. So you get my view on it. My choice would be Kavem Hodge. I would leave out Kavem Hodge, but I can understand if persons think that he should not be the one to drop, and they can make a case for him. 54 for 5 as Shamar comes in now, bowls to Kusal Mendes, who covers up, and there is no run. The score remains at 54 for 5. 54 for 5. Banana Brooks, how you doing? Welcome. No, I have not tuned into it as yet, but the last time I saw India were like 16 without loss. India were like 16 without loss. The last time I checked, they made 170 off their 4 overs. I think Australia is going to get that, as I know South Africa is probably waiting on this match, but I really think they're gonna get it. And there was a little wobble by New Zealand versus England. I think there's a wobble midway there, but they're now 263 for 8. So the lead have stretched past 340. It's going up now to 350. That's what, 347. As I said, 170 from India. I think that's a midway score. I think Australia will get it. But let me get back to the West Indies match. Thank you, Banana Brooks. What happened here? They're just replaying the ball where he stopped Shamar. 3 sips, gully goes down. Shamar bowls outside the half stump. That's a quick delivery. That's 137. It looks quicker than it really was. I think Shamar was not happy that Kusal pulled away at that last moment, and it has angered him, and the West Indies fast bowler is really running in now. That one kicked off the pitch. It looks faster than 137, didn't it? Look at that ball. It goes through to the Silva, and the Silva took it with his thumbs up in the air, and Kemar Roach is saying, woo. 154 for 5. The final delivery of Shamar, 4th over, 2 for 8 thus far. He runs in now to bowl to Kusal Mendes. The wicketkeeper batsman is in, bowls to him, beaten outside the half stump. Pace, pace, pace. That's a good delivery. It whistles through again. And it looks another quick delivery, but apparently the speedometer have not checked in on that delivery. Probably missed it. It's 54 for 5 at the end of over number 19. Yes, so I want New Zealand to win the test match versus England. And there was a little wobble there. New Zealand have wobbled twice in this their second innings. 2 times in this their second innings they have wobbled. But on both occasions, though, they have came back. At the start of their innings, they lost 3 quick wickets, but then there was a big partnership between Mitchell and Rachinda. And then they had another little wobble somewhere in the middle. And then again, there was a little partnership. And they are now leading by over 350 runs. And I don't think that they're going to lose this match because they have recovered nicely. I don't see England getting over 350 in the 4th innings to win it. And in the World Cup match, India 370. That's a T20 Women World Cup match. India having made 170. Wow. They would have won if they made 370 off 20 overs. Don't. So I've been made 170 to set Australia to win. I think that's a midway total. It's above it's not a low total, but it's not a big total. And those midway total usually end up with some very exciting matches. And so let's hope that this one is an exciting match. I want Australia to win, but I'll tell you during this over, as that first delivery steered down to third man for 4. And maybe a hedge or steer down to, maybe probably. Love to see the replay again. You get the feeling that it was an edge. It's 58 now for 5. Chandimal is on 26. So there are 2 slips and a gully. I said it quite often enough. Everyone knows why I want Australia to win. I want India to be knocked out. Alzarri over the wicket, down the leg side, clipped away, down towards backward square leg. Work for Jayden Seals to his left. He done it well. Restrict them to 1. 59 for 5. So while Alzarri walked back to the top of his mark, I said it many occasions, I'll just repeat it again. In 2016, West Indies won all 3 World Cup. The under-19 boys, the men and women T20. India this year already won the under-19 boys, and they already won the men T20 Cricket World Cup. I don't want India to equal that record. So I want them to get knocked out as soon as possible. So I don't have to be thinking about that. I don't have to be stressing over that. 59 for 5, 2 slips and a gully goes down. Alzarri bowls to Kusal, who played it out to the man at backward point. There's no run. 59 for 5. Kusal is on 4. Chandimal is on 27. So welcome, club member Banana Brooks. Appreciate you being here. Does anyone know what grade strain Shai Hope have? Because I am seeing it could be take weeks to recover. That's what you're seeing. Where did you see that got in? Tell us where so we can check to verify your source. If that source is legitimate or is it, yes, so check, tell us where you got that information so we can check it. We can check it ourselves, you know, to try and verify your source. Alzarri bowls to Kusal, who covers up and played it to mid-off, and there is no run. The score remains at 59 for 5. 59 for 5 after 19.5 overs. So 1 delivery to come in this over. 1. So we're going to look now as Alzarri, none for 6 from 2.5 overs, you know. His previous over went for 1. The first over was a maider. The second one went for 1, and now the third one I've conceded 5 thus far. He length on his stride in those languid, fluent way of his. I love to see both Joseph runs into bowl, you know. Different approach to the wicket. The batsman leaves it alone as it goes through to the keeper, and there's no run. Both have a different approach to the wicket, but I just love the way, you know, the fluentness of how they approach the wicket, you know, and the way they gather and just goes through the crease. If you compare that to someone like Lazy Older, who stuttered as he approaches the crease, you know, it's a much different, smoother run up than someone like Lazy Older. So I love to see how both Joseph runs into the crease. 59 for 5 after 20. Kusal Mendes is on 4. Chandimal is on 27. Shamar Joseph to continue. 2 for 8 from his 4 overs. He's bowling from the Sir Curtly Ambrose end. No, that Super 6 sign, you need to put it down, lady. It's not West Indies batting. It's not West Indies batting. Keep the West Indies flag, but put down that Super 6 sign. You don't need to have it. Shamar is on his way. 3 slips, bowls. The batsman steered it to the fielder at cover, and there is no run. So there's 3 slips and a gully. There's a cover and a mid-off. I can tell you those are the 6 I'm seeing on the offside. I'm not seeing anything else. I will tell you when I see them. So there are 3 slips and a gully, a cover, and a mid-off in place for Shamar Joseph. If I'm to assume, I think there's a deep point on the boundary. There would have also been a mid-on, and there's a man on the long leg boundary, probably round more to backward square leg. So I'm assuming that would be the 7 the 9. So there's 7 on the offside. So there's a person who needs to move. Why does the stand is so empty? So why does he choose to go right there and sit? The place is empty and he chooses to go right beside the side screen and sit, pulled away down to back with a square leg for 4 right out where the ambulance is. So the score will go up to 63-5. The ground is empty and a man chooses to go right on the step of the side screen to sit. 2 of them in their blue. They don't know about cricket, you know. They don't know anything about cricket. And somebody need to move them. I'm telling you the truth. If I'm batting, I'm not. They have to move before I decide to bat. And they keep holding up the game. They keep holding up the game. And why they don't move? Somebody need to tell them to move. See, they keep holding up the game. Oh boy. Oh, it was that lady that big oversized lady in the black skirt. Okay. I guess she want persons to see her bumper. Must be. So 63-5. Uh, I hope she doesn't come back out of that room again. Yeah, why, you know, I hope she doesn't come back out of that room again. Just stay in the room, you know. Men will see you, miss. You don't have to advertise. Men will see you. Don't worry about it. 63-5. Shamar, 2 for 12 from 4.3 overs. Chandimal is on 31. He's on strike as Shamar Joseph moves into the Sri Lankan right-hander. The 3 sips and the gully goes down as he played that one ungainly out into the offside. Roach comes across. That chase came across Shai at the stump. It ricochet from the stump and goes down towards the boundary, and they will come back for 2 more. The batsman was safely in, so he never needed was to Shai at the stump. I have no doubt that the batsman was safely in. The umpire is going to review it, but my estimation, my judging of it was that the batsman was comfortable in, and this would be 3 more to the Sri Lanka total. I don't mind proving wrong, but my judging of it, yes, I judged it right, as I often do. So 3 more to the Sri Lankan total. It's 66 now for 5. It was a close one, so I'm not going to say that Chase should not have shied at the stump. You can't say that the man should not have shied at the stump for that. It ricocheted from the stump and run towards the boundary, and they came back for 2 more. So 3 runs, 66 for 5. So this is Shamar Joseph, most expensive over so far. You know, you get the impression that Chandimal was looking to leave the ball, and then it bounced higher than he expected. It took the bat, trick out into the outside. Roston Chase moves smoothly, smartly from the gully, picks up, shy down the stump without breaking his stride. And the ball ricocheted down towards the boundary, and they came back for 2 more. So 3 from that delivery. 66 now for 5 as Kusal Mendes comes in to strike. Shamar over the wicket, bowls to Mendes, and Mendes turned this away through the onside. Mid-on, Kemar Roach lazily put down his hand. Will they go back for 2? We'll wait and see. Yes, they are back for 2. Lazy bit of feeling there by Kemar. Kemar Roach, 2 more to the Sri Lankan total. It moves up to 68 now for 5. The ball was stroked through the onside, wide of Kemar Roach at mid-on. He just needed us to go to his right, bend at the hip, bend at the knee, and picked up the ball. But he lazily just put down his right hand, and the ball ricocheted from his right hand behind him. And that allows the batsman to come back for the second. 68 for 5. I wouldn't be happy. 9 runs from this over so far. The most expensive of Shamar bowling spell. Will he get a wicket? As we pushed up towards the lunch, Shamar is over the wicket now, bowls down the leg side, clipped away nicely through mid-on. Roach is giving chase. The ball going out towards the boundary. He is carting it just to about 2 meters within the boundary, 2 yards. He then sends the return to Shamar Joseph. 2 more to the total. End of an 11 runs over by Shamar Joseph. 2 for 19 from his 5. Kusal Mendes is on 8. Chandimal is on 24. Sri Lanka 70 for 5 after 21 overs. 70 for 5 after 21 overs. No, Banana Brooks. No, I think you misinterpret the policy. Well, maybe the policy was not detailed enough. For the men game, everything goes. But for the women game, because the women get such a small amount of time, when we are doing a women game, we just stick to the women. But for the men game, we discuss anything. So it's not a breach of policy. So I would be happy if you keep us up to date with the scores. I don't have a problem with that. No, I did read it. You said that I am seeing it could take weeks to recover. So for it to take weeks to recover, it probably mean a grade 3 or 4. But a grade, you know, well, probably I don't understand. So that is that. Alzarri to start is fourth over. He will be bowling to Kusal Mendes. What happened there? Because I was paying attention to the comment by Garth Ains. Oh, why? What? Alzarri not happy at all, you know. I think what happened is that the bat of the non-striker fell, and Alzarri not happy. But I can understand if that was the West Indies team batting and the bat of the non-striker fell and the striker pulled away. So I can't. I don't have any issue with that. Let's hope it fired up Alzarri Joseph and we get something at 145, as that one was nipped back into the batsman and he played it away down to that's Kemar Roach. Jayden Seals coming off the backward square leg boundary for a single, 71 for 5. But if you are batting and the bat of the non-striker fell, you are going to you're gonna pull away. You're gonna pull away. You know. So I did not have an issue with him pulling away, but I just hope that it will fire up a hungry Alzarri Joseph and get him start to bowl at 145, 146, and see if we can get these 5 wickets in 20 minutes to end this match by lunch. It will be nice so that it be. Here is Alzarri Joseph. He's going to bowl to Kusal, who comes over the wicket, bowls to Kusal, and he's beaten outside the half stump with a nice delivery that touched down about fourth stump, and then it just shaped away ever so slightly, and it cannon into the gloves of Joshua the Silva, who took it above his head. Look at that delivery. It came in on the angle, and then it touched down, and it leaves, and Joshua the Silva bending at the knee and taking it above his head. Was that 140? That was 140 or above. I don't see it came off the screen, but I'm sure the first two numbers that I saw was 140. I never saw the third number, but it could be 140. It's 140 plus. Here is so let's see. Joseph is in bowls, and that delivery the batsman covers up at the seam back into him. This was 139.4. So this was, so you could call that 139 or 139.4. So he's working up some pace here, Alzarri Joseph. None for 7 from his 3.3 overs. He has gotten a wicket, but he has bowled very tight. He's the only fast bowler who has not gotten a wicket. He has 2 slips of gully, backward point cover, mid on, and the man at square leg, and then there's a backward square leg on the boundary. So that's the ring field for the West Indies. 2 slips of gully, backward point cover, mid on, square leg, and the man on the backward square leg boundary. He's slightly forward of square. So let's watch Alzarri. Comes in now, up to the wicket, bowls to the right-hander who leaves it alone outside the half stump as it whistles past. That was a little wide. No pressure. The batsman was allowed to just push the left pad and allows it to go through. So he's at square leg. Okay, he's at square leg because the umpire is a little backward so that the camera can see the line. Okay, cool. Thank you very much for reminding me. So the West Indies field, there's a man on the long leg boundary, there's a square leg, and there's a mid on. Those are the 3 on the on side. On the off side, you have the mid off, you have the cover, you have the backward point, you have a gully, and 2 slips. So that's the West Indies field as the big, tall, fast bowler, Alzarri Joseph. None for 7 from his 3.4 overs. Kusal Mendes is on strike. He's over the wicket. Bowls to Mendes. Bowl him down. He leaves alone and came back and bowl him. Ho, 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 ho. What is happening here? So that's the second, is the second Sri Lankan batter leaving alone a delivery. And it came back and bowled him, and he's taking a long time to leave. It just came back and it bowled him. And one wonders, why are they misjudging? I think this is the second one in this innings, and there was one in the first innings. Why are they misjudging those deliveries so much? Oh, ho, ho. But happy for Alzarri Joseph to get his first wicket of this inning. So he bowled him down there. The batsman leaving alone. It came back and he's bowled down. So they have lost their sixth wicket. Sri Lanka have lost their sixth wicket. And West Indies are on the verge of winning their first match in this test cycle. Blunder Factory is on the verge of winning his first match as coach of West Indies test team. And there's rain. Is there rain? I was just saying that the ground is parched and there needs some rain in Antigua. And the rain is coming down. So I guess they're going to take lunch now. They remind you that Sri Lanka trailed by 247. So while there's rain, probably we could go over to the women match. That's the Women World Cup match between India and Australia. Definitely could go over to that match. So 71 for 6, I figure that they will take lunch because lunch would have come up in the next 17 minutes. And since you leave the field now, why would you want to come back unless they are stupid? And I don't think they are. You just take the lunch. I don't think the umpires are that poor in their judgment to not take the lunch now. So Sri Lanka, they are 71 for 6. They are still 247 runs behind. 71 for 6. They are still 247 runs behind. I will give you the West Indies bowling card. Kemar wrote 6 overs, no maiden, 1 for 26. Jayden Seals, 7 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 13. Shamar Joseph, 5 overs, no maiden, 2 for 19. And Alzarri Joseph, 3.5 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 7. So West Indies bowlers really bowling well this morning. And as I said, West Indies on the verge of winning their first match in this test cycle after 9 tried. Roston Chase on the verge of winning his first match as West Indies captain. And Blunder Factory on the verge of winning his first match as West Indies test match coach. So a lot of firsts today, a lot of history in the making. We hope that we finally gets off the mark. So Sri Lanka, 71 for 6. In the next test, there are 2 more test matches going on, right? Because I think Bangladesh playing Zimbabwe in one and New Zealand playing England in the other. So in the test match between New Zealand and England, New Zealand 438 in their first innings. England replied with 354. In New Zealand's second innings, they are now 378 for 8. So that lead has stretched past 360. In the next test match that is going on, that's between Zimbabwe, I think. Yes, Zimbabwe and Bangladesh. Bangladesh were bowled out for 140. And Zimbabwe are 36 for 1. So that's stumping that test match. The England-New Zealand match is still going. They are at T now. So T taken at what? 9:40. So they have passed T. They're in the final session of the play. So that test match is still live. But at Stumps, Sri Lanka 36 for 1 in reply to Bangladesh 140 in their one-off match. Let's go to the World Cup match between India and Australia. So the West Indies field is long and about. They're coming back out. So they're not going to take lunch, or they're coming back out. So that is a very brief interruption then. So no, I take back that comment because I'm just checking. The West Indies field team is standing around. It's now 14 minutes to lunch, and you're off the West Indies want to continue because they think that, and this is good, we love this. It's bright, clear sky. Probably it was just a passing drizzle. Everyone is back out. So I was thinking that the break would have probably been minimum 10-15 minutes by the time you get on the covers and all of that, and to get them back off, it would be at least 10-15 minutes. So that's why I thought then they take lunch right away. But clearly, this break is less than 5 minutes because it appears that the covers not even went on. So the umpires were very hasty to get off. Probably the umpires were hungry and they saw the little drizzle and they said, let's get off to get something to eat, man. I'm hungry. Maybe not both of them, but one of them. And because you're working as a team, if you're working as a team and your colleagues say, man, yo, I could come off, man. Me hungry in the boss. Me hungry. January, me raw. Come off. The local rain, I give you an opportunity to come off. You just take a early lunch. You know. But then by the time they get to the edge of the boundary, the rain had stopped because it's bright sunshine in Antigua. Although I would love the people of Antigua to get some rain. Yeah, so New Zealand really putting it over England. So that lead is what, 300 and 279 to 363. That lead is 363. So I don't think they will get it, you know. Daryl Mitchell is still batting on 92. So I know that Daryl Mitchell will be carrying them over. And so let's see now. Oh yeah, you're gonna see the rain, celebrating in the rain. That's a very good picture. That's a very, very good picture. So he's running in from the Sir Andy Roberts end now. He begins to move in round the wicket to the left, and then Dinusha pitched up. Yorker dugged out back to the bowler, and there is no run. End of that over. End of the over. 71 for 6. So they are 71 for 6 now. We need an update on the. So they are 49 for 1 after 6 overs. So Australia 49 for 1 after 6 overs. At end of the power play, they are 49 for 1. So they need a further 122 to win from 84 deliveries. 49 for 1. This match still in the balance. Still in the balance. I would okay, so I will get an opportunity to tune into that match. I'm not going to do any commentary on it. We'll be back for the after lunch. So we're gonna watch now as is it Jayden Seeds coming back into the attack to bowl a over before lunch? No, Kemar Roach. They're gonna give Kemar Roach so that he will bowl 1, maybe 2 overs before lunch. Can he get 2 in? Comes in 3 slips, goes down as that ball comes back into Chandimal, and there is no run. So they're clearly using the bowlers in very short spell. Yes, so Kemar Roach is on 297. I don't have a problem with this, you know. I think Kemar Roach comes back because they probably want to see how close he can get to those 300 wickets. What do you think? Do you think they genuinely brought him back for a second spell in the morning session? Shamar had only bowled 5 overs. And we know that Shamar Joseph is a man who bowled a lot of 8 overs spell. So do they just bring back Roach because 6 wickets gone down and they want the man to push closer to that 300 mark? You know, what do you think? Because are they genuinely brought him back on? Yeah, 5 overs. Shamar Joseph usually bowl more than that in a spell. You know, so they bring him back to try and, you know. I just uh, You know, somehow I just have a little sympathy for Kusal there, but nonetheless, come off. You're gone. Roach is in now, comes in now, over the wicket now. He bowls to Chandimal, and Chandimal plays this one off the back foot through the covers. They'll run one. Kavem Hodge gives chase. He picks up and looks to throw in the ball, and the ball fell from his hand, and they are back comfortable for two. So two more there. Just the ball before the wicket. Did he? Let's see. This is good from Alzarri Joseph. Oh, wonderful, wonderful bowling by Alzarri Joseph. They're showing you the Kusal dismissal, the first delivery pitch, and it straighten up and it leave him a little, and then Joseph bowled the next delivery pitch, the same place. He leaves it alone and came back and knock over the stump. So there are two men. There's two slip and a man very short at a short mid on as he bowls to Chandimal and he comes forward and played it to that man at a short mid on. So there's a mid off. There's a short mid off, very close to the pitch, like about 1 yard from the pitch, and on the offside there are two slips and then that man, and on the onside you have a man at a straight mid wicket. He's probably about 5 yards from the pitch, or you could call him a short mid on. I would prefer mid wicket. He's about 5 yards from the pitch, and he's also short. Here is Kemar Roach as the two slips goes down, and that man at that short mid off goes down also. That ball came back to the batsman on the pad off the inside edge. End of Roach over back. At the end of it, 1 for 30 from 7. Sri Lanka 75 for 6. Chandimal on 39 and Dinusha on naught. West Indies rampant in this test match here as they look to now capitalize. Well, if that's a dark spot, I I I have a problem with Roach coming back. But that spot is clear. Where does the rain comes from? It's very interesting. Is very interesting. Which spot does the rain comes from? Because the spot that we saw before looks very dark. And if that is the spot that the rain comes from, then Shamar Joseph should be bowling instead of Kemar Roach. The last thing you want, which is possible, it is possible, is for rain to fall 2 days. We saw that at Sabina Park just the other day. Alzarri is round the wicket, bowls to the left-handed. Dinusha wide down the leg side. Good movement there by the Silva. He got a talk to. I am sure that the Silva got a talk to. That was better. Good movement of the feet and then made a tumbling stop. That was 139 kilo from Alzarri Joseph. The Silva that we are seeing in this innings is one who is keeping much better. And it could be one he got to talk to, and some drills were put in place, and could be that straightforward catch that he got off the bowling of Seals have just raised his confidence as Alzarri Joseph over the wicket bowled to Dinesh, who covers up to a delivery that is touching down on middle stump and coming back into him. He played it back down the pitch for the bowler to field and is follow through, and there is no run. The score remains at 75 for 6. Dinesh is yet to get off the mark. Can West Indies get in another over? We should get in another over before lunch. One more from Kemar Roach. Yes, so I'm happy with the movement of Joshua Da Silva in this innings. He looks a much, much better keeper. And it goes to the point I've made. You can't drop a man after one innings. As he pitched up to Dhananjaya and he slapped it through the covers. Not really graceful or elegant, but it reached the boundary for 4. And I guess in the ends, that's what's matter. It pitched up and he just slapped it through the cover. It wasn't one of those drive where the batsman come on his front foot and pressed it with elegance and grace. It was despite what the replay is showing you, that's not how it looked from front on. It's really a slap. There's no grace in it. So 79 for 6. I'd love to hear get the feedback from Sri Lanka after this match. I would definitely love to. So Chase consulting with Alzarri Joseph there. I don't know why that should be because you're wasting time consulting with a man when you are leading by 239 runs and you want to get in another over before lunch. We tell you about the IQ, man. That should be the priority. The man hit a 4 and you're going to make a big deal out of it. You use up a minute because of the man like a 4. When your objective right here now is to ensure that you're getting another over before lunch, you may well do. But if that minute that chase you talking to Alzarri Joseph because of 1-4, it will prevent us from getting in another over. Again, it just shows the level of IQ. So he's running back to his fielding position after using up the minute. Alzarri round the wicket, bowls to the left hander, covers up and played it back down the pitch to the bowler, who stopped it with his shoes. And there is no run. So, wow, interesting techniques there from Dinesh. He starts deep in his crease and then he jumps forward. We're going to look at him carefully here now as Alzarri is round the wicket. He reached there now and he's beaten outside the half stump as the batsman poke at it and it goes through to Joshua the Silva. And the score remains at 79 for 6. So we should get in another over. It's just about 2 minutes now to 11 in Jamaica. Should be 2 minutes to 11 to 12 in Antigua. You know, it's a digital clock I'm looking at, so it's not ticking the seconds. You know, so let's see. Well, he didn't use that techniques this time, so we're gonna watch now as Alzarri final delivery here. We should get in the next over. It ticked over to 10:59, but should get in the next over. And the umpires might just walk slowly. Well, it all depends on the time that the umpires have had their watch. Similar delivery, Dinesh covers up and played it back down the pitch to the bowler who field. And Alzarri said to Chase, "That's it. That's my spell. 1 for 11 from 5." But I guess nonetheless, it will be lunch after this over. So one more over from the veteran Kemar Roach to see if he can go to 298. So Sri Lanka 79 for 6. West Indies picking up 5 wickets this morning, with Shamar Joseph getting 2, Jayden Seeds 1, Alzarri Joseph 1, and Kemar Roach 1. So all the West Indies bowlers that have been used this morning are on the chart. Have picked up a wicket. Kemar Roach got 1 this morning. Jayden Seals got 1, Shamar 2, and Alzarri 1. 79 for 6. Chandimal, who has been a rock in this Sri Lankan innings, he's on strike. As Roach is over the wicket, bowls to him, and he covers up and he plays it down back the off side of the pitch. So to Chandimal, there's still that fielder there that at a short mid-off, he is closer to the bowler than to the batsman on the length of the pitch. You could say he's probably, I'm judging it, he's probably about 10 yards from the bowling crease and he's 3 yards from the cut strip. You know, so he's 10 yards forward of the bowling crease and he's 3 yards from the cut strip at mid-off. So there's 2 slips and there's that fielder there. Chase himself has placed himself there. 2 deliveries have gone in this over as it ticked over to 12 o'clock in Antigua. Chandimal remains resolute on 39. So Chase is just putting the mid-off a little wider. Comes in now, bowls, then he whipped this away through the onside. Work for the fielder coming off the backward square leg boundary. And the long leg got there before him, and there's a singer. So 80 for 6 now. So Chanderpaul comes off strike. So Dinesh comes in. And so the no ball by Kemar Roach there, 1 for 32 from his 7 overs. So that's a big no ball, you know, 1 for 32 from his 7 overs. Why is it that Kemar Roach bowling so many no balls these days? Because it wasn't a man that is known to bowl a lot of no balls, you know, but these days he have been bowling a lot of no balls. I think because he's just bowling at 126, 127 thereabout, that he's striving for that little extra meat of pace. Round the wicket now, bowls to the left-handed Dhananjaya, who covers up and played it out into the covers. So there are 2 slips and 2 gully for Dhananjaya. And then there's that man at short cover also on the for him. Not as short and as close to the pitch as for Chandimal, but Dhananjaya. So there are 2 slips, 2 gully. We're approaching lunch, 3 deliveries to come before lunch. It has been a wonderful morning for West Indies, and I thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks to all the members of the club. So there's the 2 slips and the 2 gully goes down as Roach comes in bowls, and he left a tight one outside the arsenal. How did he read that? Because that ball shaped away instead of come back in. And if that ball had came back in any at all, then West Indies have picked up another wicket. You see where that ball pitch? And then it leave him. I think it's more guesswork there than anything else. Really think there's more. So they have lost their second wicket. Australia have lost their second wicket. They are now 62 for 2 after 8 overs. I really want Australia to win this match, and I don't usually bet on Australia to win matches a lot. I don't really always want Australia to win, but this is one that I want them to win. As the batsman covers up again and played it back down the pitch for the bowler to field, and is followed through. Once again, there's no run. 81 for 6. So the score 81 for 6. Although 62 for 2 for Australia, you know, they have a long batting lineup. I think Molyneux batting at 8 or 9. Maybe it's a lot, you know. So there's a very long batting lineup. Round the wicket goes to Dhananjaya, who plays it to mid-off. And that's lunch. That's lunch on the 4th morning of the first test match between West Indies and Sri Lanka from North Sound, the Sir Viv Richards Cricket Stadium at North Sound in Antigua, St. John's, Antigua. West Indies have the upper hand after bowling out Sri Lanka for 308 in their first innings and replying with 626 for 9 declare. Sri Lanka are 81 for 6 at lunch, and they trail by 237 runs. Thank everyone for being here. Have a wonderful afternoon, and see you later.